Welcome to my channel. Subscribe and enjoy my new stories every day. I remember installing the GPS tracker in Angela's sleek, silver sedan under the guise of safety. With my frequent business trips, it seemed sensible, almost protective. At least, that's how I justified it to myself, sitting in yet another sterile hotel room hundreds of miles from home. I wanted to make sure Angela was safe, or perhaps, on some subconscious level, I wanted to make sure Angela was faithful. As weeks turned into months, I would occasionally check the app on my phone, a quick glance to see her at the grocery store, at yoga, or visiting her sister across town. It was comforting, seeing her patterns match the mundane expectations of everyday life. But then, I noticed a deviation. The first time I saw the address, an inconspicuous little house on the outskirts of town appeared on the screen. I thought little of it. Perhaps she was visiting a new friend, or it was a book club meeting. But then, it happened again. And again. Her car, parked there for hours, deep into the evenings when she told me she was just tired and going to bed early. Curiosity turned into suspicion, suspicion into obsession. One evening, I decided to confirm my doubts. Driving down, the neighborhood was quiet, almost eerily so. I parked a block away and walked towards the address, my heart pounding in my chest as I approached. The house was dimly lit, a soft glow emanating from the living room window. Creeping closer, the muffled sounds of laughter seeped through the window, a sound so painfully familiar yet shockingly foreign in this setting. Peeking through the curtains, the gut-wrenching sight confirmed my fears. Angela, cozy and laughing in the arms of a man I had never seen before. They seemed so at ease, so intimate, a stark contrast to the coldness that had crept into our marriage. I stood there, the cold biting at my cheeks, my heart not just broken but obliterated. Betrayal seared through me like wildfire. I thought about confronting her right then and there, storming through the door and demanding answers. But no, I needed something more, something that would match the depth of deceit I felt. The drive back home was a blur, my mind racing with plans of retribution. The next few weeks were a meticulous orchestration of revenge, collecting evidence of her infidelity, meeting with lawyers, securing my finances. When the moment came to confront Angela, I was prepared, not just for a confrontation, but for a complete demolition of the life she knew. "I know about him," I said simply, the moment she walked through the door, her eyes widening in panic. The ensuing conversation was a cyclone of denial, pleading, and anger, a tempest that left nothing but wreckage in its wake. By the end, our marriage was beyond salvation, the divorce papers a mere formality in the vast desert of our ruined relationship. As she left our home for the last time, suitcase in hand and tears streaming down her face, I felt no satisfaction. The house was quiet, the silence a stark reminder of the price of betrayal. But it was necessary, I told myself. Necessary for justice, for my own peace of mind. The sun barely crests the horizon, its dim light struggling against the thick curtains of my once shared bedroom. Sleep eludes me now, replaced by a turbulent mixture of rage and meticulous planning. Every step of Angela's betrayal is etched in my mind, fueling my resolve for the confrontation I know I cannot avoid any longer. I sit at the kitchen table, my laptop open in front of me, displaying screenshots and emails, undeniable proof of the deceit. The coffee in my cup has gone cold, forgotten, as I rehearse the confrontation in my head. I hear the front door open. Angela is back from her early morning jog, a routine that now feels like another layer of her deceit. The sound of her footsteps grows louder as she approaches the kitchen. She freezes in the doorway, her eyes darting to the screen before meeting mine. There's a brief moment of silence, heavy with unspoken accusations. "Why is your laptop open to emails between you and him?" I ask, my voice steady despite the turmoil inside. She hesitates, her fingers nervously playing with the hem of her running jacket. I can explain," she stammers, avoiding my gaze. "Explain." "Angela, I saw you at his house. Multiple times. My tone is accusing, sharp. Angela's face crumples slightly, the realization of her exposed secrets dawning on her. It's not what you think, I swear. It started as just coffee, talking, nothing more. Coffee? I scoff, standing abruptly, my chair scraping against the tile. Do you expect me to believe that? I saw you in his arms, laughing, happy. How long has this been going on? The confrontation escalates as she tries to approach me, her hands reaching out in a plea. Please, listen to me. It was a mistake. I was lonely, you were always gone, and he was there. It was stupid, I know, but it didn't mean anything. Didn't mean anything. I echo, my voice rising. You betrayed our marriage, Angela. How can you say it meant nothing? She starts to cry, tears streaming down her face. I don't know. I don't know. I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. Her apology does nothing to quench the burning sense of betrayal. Sorry doesn't fix this, Angela. You've ruined everything. I grab my phone, showing her the pictures I took, the evidence of her betrayal. Look. How can you deny this? She sobs, covering her face with her hands, her body shaking. I can't. I didn't mean for any of this to happen. The room fills with the sound of her crying, but my heart has hardened. Pack your things, I say coldly. I want you out. Today. Angela pleads, her voice broken. Please, can we talk about this? Can we go to counseling? I'll do anything to fix this. I shake my head, resolute. No. It's too late for that. I can't trust you anymore. This marriage is over. She stands there, defeated, her whole body trembling. Where will I go? Anywhere but here, I reply, turning away from her to hide the tremor in my voice. As Angela's car fades into the distance, the silence of the house amplifies the hollow victory. My thoughts, now unburdened by the immediacy of her presence, begin to plot the next course of action, ensuring that the divorce proceedings leave no room for her to return to the life she betrayed. The day's early light shifts as I sit at the dining table, my laptop open to a list of recommended divorce attorneys. I make calls, my voice steady, my words measured, explaining the situation to legal professionals with a detached clarity that surprises even me. Good morning. This is Mark Jennings. I am seeking representation for a divorce. It's a straightforward case with clear grounds, I explain to the third attorney, whose reputation for ruthless efficiency in such cases precedes him. Yes, Mr. Jennings, if you have proof of the infidelity, we can certainly expedite the process and work towards a favorable outcome for you, the attorney responds, his voice brisk, businesslike. I have all the evidence collected, emails, photographs, GPS data. I want to discuss asset protection and ensuring the process is as swift as possible, I continue, arranging a meeting. By noon, I'm sitting across from the attorney in his office, the walls lined with law books and accolades. He reviews the documents I've brought, his eyes occasionally lifting to meet mine, a nod of understanding passing between us. This is more than sufficient, he remarks, organizing the papers into a neat stack. Given this evidence, we can file for an at-fault divorce. It'll be advantageous in the settlement negotiations. I want to ensure she doesn't benefit from her deceit, I state firmly. What are the steps we need to take? We'll begin by filing the initial paperwork by tomorrow. I'll also request a court order to freeze your joint accounts temporarily. It's important to protect your assets immediately, he explains, typing swiftly on his computer. The conversation shifts toward strategies, timelines, and expectations. As I leave his office, a plan firmly in place, the weight of the legal battle ahead looms large but feels justified. Back home, I begin separating our lives physically. I box up Angela's belongings, her clothes, books, and personal items, each object a stark reminder of the life we shared. The doorbell rings, breaking my focus. Standing there is Angela, her eyes red, a small suitcase beside her. "Mark, I have nowhere to go," she stammers, her voice trembling. "You should have thought about that before," I reply coldly, my hand firm on the door. "Please, I just need a few days to figure things out. I'll stay in the guest room." "You won't even know I'm here," she pleads. Against my better judgment, I nod, setting strict boundaries. 3 days, Angela. And you keep to the guest room." As she quietly moves her suitcase inside, I can't help but feel a twinge of something akin to pity, quickly suppressed by the lingering anger. The courtroom is cold, the air thick with tension as the final day of the divorce proceedings unfolds. I sit rigidly, my gaze fixed on the judge, while Angela sits across the aisle, her eyes occasionally darting in my direction, seeking an iota of forgiveness that I'm no longer capable of giving. As the attorney presents the final arguments, highlighting the irrefutable evidence of Angela's infidelity, a murmur runs through the courtroom. I feel a bitter satisfaction knowing the end is near, the culmination of weeks of strategic planning about to bear fruit. Mr. Jennings has provided clear evidence of Ms. Jennings's misconduct. We request the court to recognize the severity of her betrayal and grant a favorable division of assets to Mr. Jennings, my attorney states confidently, handing over the last of the photographs to the judge. Angela's lawyer rises, his face a mask of professional calm. "Your Honor, while we do not dispute the infidelity, we ask for leniency in considering the emotional distress Ms. Jennings has suffered as a result of these proceedings." Before the judge can respond, the doors of the courtroom burst open. A man, disheveled and breathless, rushes in, a sheaf of papers clutched in his hand. It's Angela's lover, the man from the pictures. "Wait," he shouts, causing everyone to turn in surprise. "I have something to say. Angela didn't betray her husband alone. I manipulated her. I lied to her about my circumstances, told her I was in an open relationship," he confesses, his voice trembling. The courtroom erupts in whispers and gasps. Angela looks at him, horror and confusion etched across her face. I watch, my initial shock quickly morphing into a calculated calm. This revelation might just be the final nail in her coffin, legally speaking. The judge calls for order and allows him to speak. His confession adds a new layer of deceit, showing Angela not just as a cheater but as a manipulated victim. Yet, the damage to my case is minimal, the betrayal remains clear. As the judge delivers the verdict, granting me most of the assets and an expedited divorce, Angela's face crumbles. She whispers a desperate apology across the aisle, but I turn away, the finality of the judge's words severing whatever remnants of emotional ties remained. Outside the courtroom, Angela approaches me, tears streaming down her face. "Mark, I'm so sorry. I never meant for any of this to happen. Can we?" "No, Angela. It's done," I interrupt sharply. "I wish you hadn't made those choices." I walk away, leaving her standing there, a broken figure shadowed by her deceit and manipulation. As I step outside, the sun blinds me momentarily, a stark contrast to the dark confines of the courtroom. In the days that follow, I ensure that the story of Angela's betrayal and her lover's manipulation becomes well known, ruining her social reputation. Through meticulous leaks to social media and our community, I paint a picture of deceit that ensures she can never comfortably return to our circle of friends and colleagues. The chapter closes as I stand looking over the city from my new apartment, the skyline sprawling under the setting sun. Angela is gone from my life, her presence erased like a bad dream. The cost of betrayal was high, and I made sure she paid in full. The intrigue of the main plot reveals the complexity of human emotions and the devastating impact of deceit. As I move forward, the lesson remains clear: betrayal, once rooted, destroys everything it touches.